Hi there, welcome back to MTurk Guide. Today we're going to go over my earnings report for the week and just a few notes in general on how I think this week will shake out in comparison to previous weeks and upcoming weeks. This week, unfortunately, I don't have my usual bonus report of the requesters that I worked on because my database is a little glitchy and I haven't determined if it's just me or if it's others. And I can't give you reliable information, so I'm going to choose not to give you that information until I can fix it, or I can dump the data into Excel and or spreadsheets and see if I can come up with the correct data. But I will give you a general overview of where I'm spending my time and some in what I know to be approximately my top requesters for the week. So a couple of quick notes on just general, how this week is going to shake out. So for those that aren't in the United States, this week is Thanksgiving week. That holiday will fall on Thursday. Many schools and businesses have definitely have Thursday off. Some also have Friday off, and then some have the whole week off. And usually Wednesday is a half a day for those folks that are working earlier in the week. So we do tend to see a slowdown starting this week, and it will pick back up before as we roll into December, and then it will dip down again as we get into the Christmas, Hanukkah, holiday, into the New Year's time frame. But, all is not lost. There's definitely some requesters out there. You just have to dig a little harder for it. You definitely have to be on the ball a little bit more because there's a lot of other Turkers out there, working to grab the same hits as you. So I think the most notable difference this previous week and going into this upcoming week has been the absence of Zoltar, which I know many people work on and love very much. It's not unusual for them to take a break like this, so I wouldn't fear that they're gone forever. They will probably be back maybe over this upcoming weekend or sometime into next week. I don't have a direct line to them, unfortunately, so I can't validate that information. It's just a general feel I have from watching them kind of come and go over the past 2 years. So I definitely want to share that it's not time to panic. They're not. I don't think they're gone forever. So take that for what it's worth. But as far as I said, it's, there's going to be a little more competition this week, although, at times there probably won't be as much competition depending on where you are and what you're doing for the holiday. I know that my family, we go out to a restaurant and then we're going to try to go see the new Disney movie on Thanksgiving. And then on Friday, I try to do a little shopping on what's known in the States as Black Friday. And I try to split that between Cyber Monday. So Monday, I'll probably also be a little distracted. So it really depends on what everybody's up to. But my point is that the number of hits available to the entirety of Turk workers, you're going to see it vary. It's up on the top of the screen there, and you'll see it vary. As long as I've been doing this, which is about 2 years, I've seen it go up as high as 1.2 million and down as low as 150,000. So the number can vary wildly, but honestly, I've seen it, where it is now, where it was when I looked earlier today at about 300,000, and I've still been able to make, pretty good money on any given day. But as I said, you might have to work a little harder for it, and I will certainly try to post hits that I find worthwhile as I come across them. But unfortunately, I probably will not be working as much as I normally do. So, but I will definitely post when I am online. Okay, so let's dive into the earnings report for this week. So my weekly earnings, for this week, I submitted 2,987 hits, which if you've been following along, it's actually a dramatic increase in the number of hits submitted for me. In the past month or so, I've kept my hits around or less than 1,000, and I've been able to hit my goal. Both the absence of Zoltar, I've really had to up the number of hits I'm submitting in order to meet my goal. And that's just sort of the way of it. So it's just an indication that, that we're in a little bit of a of a downslide in terms of what's available. The number of hits approved in the same time period is 3,112. No rejects, yay. Bonus reward earned was $2.61, which were just basically 411 Richmond and some transcription hits that I had done, nothing great or exciting. The hit reward earned was $221.33 for a grand total of $223.94. So as you can see, my daily goal is 20, my weekly goal is 140. I very much exceeded my weekly goal. And the reason for that is, as I said earlier, my schedule is a little up in the air this week. And so my hope was to give myself a little breathing room in terms of my goals, so that I didn't necessarily have to work as hard this week. Although I definitely would still like to meet my weekly goal of 140. My overall goal is to definitely hit the monthly goal. And I know everybody turks for different reasons, but right now I'm turking to make extra holiday money for gifts and whatnot. So that is pretty important to me. So I'd like to have as much extra as I could. So anyways, as far as the month to date goes, I'm at 534.78. So I'm, not too far off from the monthly goal. I've actually already hit it in the last 2 days. But I'm also $9 off. I'm $9 off my tracking towards the weekly goal. So I'm not optimistic on my ability to meet my weekly goal this week, but I'll talk to you about that next Monday or Tuesday. So, all right, my year to date is $7,461.16. This is where I would usually move on to the bonus with the requesters list, all nice and packaged of the requester and how many hits I did for them and how much total money that was. But I don't have that this week, as I said, because I don't think the data is reliable. But I did run some quick numbers, and my largest contributor to my week was by far OCMP 5. OCMP 5 is only for folks that have over 5,000, and there was a qual hit a couple weeks back that you had to do and you had to pass in order to get this qualification. And my understanding, because this is the first time I've gotten this qualification, is that they don't put it out there that often. But if I do see it come up again, I will certainly post it so those of you who are over 5,000 could try to grab that hit for qualification. You can go ahead and try to get that qualification. For me, it's just been, they're not the greatest. You have to fill in two multiple choice questions, and sometimes you have to do some research, and you only have 5 minutes to do it. So it's not like the greatest, but given the amount of work available right now, it's really been a lifesaver for me in terms of meeting and exceeding my goals. So it is what it is. I'm sure a lot of people could chime in and say, yeah, I don't like those. Those are the worst. Maybe they are, but they're serving a purpose for me right now, I'll say. I'm not sure I would do them if I had more options, but I don't right now. So that would be my number one. My number two, I'm not talking in absolutes here, but some of the other ones that I did with some frequency this week was Pics from Above. I've discussed Pics from Above before, and I did a video on them a while back. I did about, I want to say I did probably $30 worth of those at the end of last week. And previously they'd been kind of laggy, and it was on their end for the most part. But I haven't noticed the same level of lagging going on with those hits. So, the thing is that when they post a new campaign, you have to go grab that qualification. So I try to keep updated on the Facebook page, which is at Mechanical Turk Guide. I try to keep updated the campaign that they're running on at the moment so that you can go grab that qualification. It's an auto-granted qualification. You don't have to do anything except request it, and you'll get it with a value of 1, which allows you to do the hits. And right now, the past couple of days that I've been doing them, they've been looking for swimming pools. So for me, what I've come across is really about 80% being no swimming pools. I'd say 18% have swimming pools, and there's a 2% that it's either too cloudy or there's some sort of blob in the satellite that makes it so you can't tell. So that's the deal with Pics from Above. I know a lot of people who follow the page have been working on them too, so they're quite popular right now. Those are 15 cents each. The other hits I've been doing is called Data Collector. Data Collector, you need a qualification for these. And what they do is they have one qualification. It's called All Reliable Workers. And they put various types of hits up and they give them to the people with that qualification. So if they come out with their qualification, again, it's definitely something I will post and definitely something you should consider looking at. Again, they're not necessarily the greatest in the world. And when each hit comes out, I definitely look over it, make sure I understand it, ask questions if I don't. They are good about communication. So, again, they're turning out to be a little bit of a lifesaver in a kind of a quiet week. Because I think the end of last week started to be quiet for me as well. And then after that, in all honesty, there were like smatterings. I think I got about a handful of Lane Brooks. Lane Brooks is transcribing bib numbers from like runs like 5Ks or 10Ks or the mud runs. Those are actually great price for what reward for what you're doing. They're 80 cents per hit. And if you learn the keys, the hotkeys to go along with them, they're very, very easy. If I get one again, I will definitely do a video. It's just they were coming at odd times and I didn't get a chance to like stop what I was doing and go leave the room and go do another video. So I apologize for that. But if you do see Lane Brooks, I would throw a requester search on for him if you're in Panda Crazy. Hopefully he'll be posting again, but he's definitely a good one. And then after that, I did a lot of surveys. I had one survey I did for the election at $1.50, which was just a one I grabbed, and then I had a follow up from a survey, a bunch of surveys that I was doing under a qualification that I got, and I got $2.25 for that one. I did a typing test one for I think it was $2 maybe. And then I did one about learn the various types of birds hit, which was interesting and kind of fun in a weird way if you like that stuff. And that was $8. And that was a 45-minute hit for $8, which was great. It really helped boost me for the week in very little time. So yeah, there were a bunch of surveys were very heavy for me last week. And I found a lot of those surveys on Hit Scraper, just because when you're digging, right? You gotta try to find them. And I do a lot of my digging on Hit Scraper. And the reason why, just for the perspective, I've heard people talk about, other hits or other hit finders or extensions they use. And I'm going to do videos on some of the other ones that aren't my favorite, but I have used them in the past. I think Hit Finder is one of them. Somebody asked about MTurk last week. MTurk appears to no longer be supported. It doesn't appear to work, and it seems to have as questionable history as it is, so I won't be doing any video on that. But Hit Finder I will. But Hit Scraper is my preferred, and the reason being that when you hit or when you click on the the reward, and it brings you right to the hit, and then you can either, if you've grabbed it, you can you've accepted it. If it's gone, you can set up your Panda either through Turkmaster or Panda Crazy, depending on what you use. And it's, you're seeing it with your eyes, and it's one click right back into MTurk to grab it. Sometimes if you're using if you're on Reddit using hits worth turking for, which I love if it's, not a competitive day, meaning there's not a lot of people that are all vying for a small amount of hits. The hits worth turking for, it's taking the people obviously who are posting these, or I shouldn't say the people, because it is partly, there is bots and robots involved and stuff, but for the ones that are posted by people, obviously they secure it first and then post it. And so, the same with the form. So there's a little bit of a delay, which is fine if it's more of a regular time, not a slower time. So, I think there's kind of this, you have to figure out what will work for you at what point, we're in, where you are in your goal for the week and where we are in sort of whether things are, things are coming in so fast you can barely, keep up with your queue versus very, very slow. And there's different tools that work for all those different situations. So that's my point. And I'm not saying that hits worth turking for isn't good, because it's great, but sometimes it doesn't work as well for me as being directly in hit scraper. And that for me is just a matter of whether it's going, if it's very busy or it's very slow. And that's just my personal opinion. Other people have other opinions. And I certainly appreciate everybody on Hits Worth Turking For and other forums that take the time to post things. Absolutely. But, like I said, it really depends for me what I'm going to be looking at. As I said, it depends on what my day looks like. And, everybody has to kind of get there with their own turking experience. And once you start to get a little bit better about understanding where you need to go based on whether you're just going to run some pandas and, and hope that some of it comes to you and you kind of having that kind of day versus you're digging and you need to go into a tool and find something to work on. So definitely, working out that strategy is a part of a successful turking experience. So yeah, that was kind of that was a summary of my week with a little diatribe about tools, and definitely a promise for some more videos in the very near future. I have a whole list of things I'm working on, and I have a few other viewer requests. So as always, please let me know if you have requests. I love to hear from everybody. I try my best to answer everybody. And if I didn't answer you, it's most likely because I didn't see it. I might have missed it. But as always, ask away, give me suggestions, but please do subscribe to the channel. That helps me. It helps keep me motivated as people continue to subscribe. Also, like the Facebook page if you're on Facebook. Again, it does keep me motivated to know that I'm talking to folks that are out there, not just to myself. Comment if you have something to say. I'd love to hear from you. And share it if you have friends that are turking as well. I'd love to help them out as well. So I hope I will certainly be posting before we get to the US Thanksgiving holiday, but for those that may be busy this week, and if you're in the US, I hope you have a lovely Thanksgiving, and I hope you can turn off the Turk machine for a couple of days and kick back and relax. So as always, have a happy turking day and a happy turkey day if it's that week for you. And I hope you will join me next time for some more very interesting turking information. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.